All right, let's talk about the Rodecaster Pro today. So, first of all, I'm not endorsed or sponsored by Rode. I just really love this device. And you can find tutorials and reviews and unboxing all over the internet. But what I really want to talk about is using this device for three key things: podcasts, radio, and live streaming. I wanted something that could do all these components because I host a radio show, I do a podcast, and I like the live stream. So, this will do all three but in different ways, I guess you could say. So, first of all, podcasting. I wanted something where I could record interviews. I had hotkeys. I could have guest interviews in the studio or phone calls. I could record phone calls just like I would in the radio studio. And this does all that. So, to go over the board real quick, first of all, you have one, two, three, four microphone channels, your level up, solo, mute, all your normal stuff. I won't go into the settings, like I said. There's plenty of things you can do here, but there's USB in. You can play audio clips off the internet or your computer. There's a phone line in and then a Bluetooth in. There's also your sound for your hotkeys. Now, there's three hotkey banks, which is really cool. So I can have one set up for podcast, I can have one set up for my radio show, and I can have one set up for live streaming. And you just switch over in the settings to each bank. They're color coordinated. This device also comes with a little panel where you can label each key on top to remember what it is, or it's color coded. You can remember that way. But it's really, really cool. You can have it to where you pause, start, or this starts over. There's so many different settings you can tweak when you hook the Rodecaster up to your computer and run the software through it while you're labeling and setting up your hotkeys. But that comes in key for radio shows, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. But this device was designed obviously for podcasts, and it's such a great all-in-one. You can either record straight into your computer with the USB to Audacity or Audition or whatever you want to use, or you can do it right to an SD card, a micro SD card, which has multi-track recording. And I didn't think I would love that as much as I do, but wow, it is awesome. I recorded an interview with Breaking Benjamin the other day, and for instance, if you talk over them when you're on the phone, you both talk at the same time. Well, normally if you're recording into one channel, you can't edit that, but with the multi-track, I can pull myself talking, over the rock star out of that, mute it, and then let him talk. So you never even knew that happened during the phone call. But it's natural those things happen during the interviews, especially when you're not in the same room with the person and there's not the body language to see when that next person's going to talk and etc. So it's huge. I didn't know I would love it as much as I love it, but I'm telling you, multi-track recording to your micro SD card or straight into your computer is crucial. So podcasts are pretty straightforward. Let's go into live streaming. So usually before my radio show, sometimes I'll do a live stream. I'll jump on Facebook Live on our Facebook page for the radio station. This does work as a live board for that. So I can run through my microphone, I can run my hotkeys, I can play clips off of the internet. Whatever I want to do, it'll work through this board. It's a real simple setup. You run it right into your computer, USB in, and you can use whatever streaming platform you use, OBS, StreamYard, whatever it may be. Now, the radio stuff is what's really sold me on this board. It acts as almost a live board, like I would be in the studio when I do my radio show, which I can do now from home. And I can use my hotkeys here for my sound effects, for my music beds. It works, like I said, you can start a sound effect and then stop it halfway through, or start a music bed and pause it, or you can hit it again and have it start over. You can set up those settings in the software for the Rodecaster Pro within your computer. It is amazing. Now, the other thing that's great is I can have a caller. If I have my phone Bluetooth to the board, I can have a caller come through. I can put them on the air with me as well. And there's a mix minus feature in here, so they're not getting the typical echo that they would get. It's all worked out within this device. It is fantastic. So I can take phone calls, I can play audio clips, I can have my sound bed set up. I played part of that interview with Breaking Benjamin on the air during my show. I just had it set up in my Audacity when I recorded the podcast and edited the podcast, and I just had it right there in my computer, and I ran the USB in, and I just played clips from that podcast right there on my radio show. It's just fantastic. Or like I said, I could have somebody call in and we could chat. I could take callers. It's just something I haven't seen a whole lot on the internet is how to use this for radio. I've seen it for a little bit on the live streaming front, but most people are talking about how to use it for podcasting. The big thing for me, it does all three. It made this worthwhile. Initially, I wanted to get this to do podcasts. Then, when I started doing my radio show remotely from home and realized I could use this as a live radio board, that was game changing. And like I said, do my live streams from it. It's just fantastic. So, to go over the features of it real quick with you, like I said, I wouldn't dive too far into that, but I want to talk about it just for a second. So, again, you have channel 1, 2, 3, 4 on your microphones. You have the mic inputs on the back, and you can control all your separate settings for each microphone here. So, you have your level settings. There's all kinds of processing within here as well. Here's my banks for my hotkeys. I can switch over to each one. And there's all kinds of just settings in here you can fine tune. And this thing is fantastic. And then again, USB in, your phone in. There's a phone jack on the back, also Bluetooth. It's super easy to pair your phone to Bluetooth right to the device. And anything that comes through your phone then will come through the board. Again, you can do that for podcasts. You can do that for a radio show. You can do it during a live stream. This just opens up so many avenues that I didn't know were possible to do from home. And so, again, you have your hotkeys here. You can run. There's a certain limit of what you can have saved on those, but it's a pretty big limit. I mean, I have a 30-minute music bed here to go underneath my radio show. I have all kinds of sound effects set up for that as well. So it's pretty versatile when it comes to that. And then again, you have your volume knobs. You can go up or down in your headphones. You have a master volume. And then the record is super easy. If you want to record to a memory card, just click record and boom, you're podcasting. It's a little different for the radio show. Obviously, that's software I use on my laptop. So the USB out from the board into the computer, running through that software to be able to broadcast my radio show works that way as well. And then again, same thing, USB to your computer to run any kind of live stream, whether it be OBS, which I'm recording this on right now. I'm also using my microphone through the board right now as I'm doing this video. And you can also do it through, like I said, StreamYard or any kind of Facebook streaming platform, and it works great. I was super impressed. There isn't anything I've been disappointed with that it doesn't do that I wanted it to do, so to speak. So highly recommend this. Again, 3 different things: podcasting, radio, and live streaming. It does all 3. You can have 4 mics, your mic, 3 guests. You can have multiple guests call in. Like I said, when I recorded the interview with Breaking Benjamin, it was Breaking Benjamin and Lacey Sturm, formerly of Flyleaf. So they were both on the phone at the same time with me. And it's just a fantastic way to be able to do so many things I thought I had to be in a radio studio for or a production studio for. It's all done right here with literally a microphone stand, and the soundboard. And yes, I have a cloud lifter in the back there. You can probably see running through my microphone, but that's optional. It does work pretty well without the cloud lifter into the Rode Procaster. So it's not necessary, but I think it adds that extra little touch to it that I really do like. So all I have right now is this mini setup, and it does all these things. So I can't recommend it enough. Again, I'm not endorsed or sponsored by Rode. I just love what this can do for me. And if you are a podcaster or a live streamer or you host a radio show, this can do each of those individually, or like for me, I flip it over to each thing and I do all 3. And you can't really go wrong with what this offers. So I've never seen anything else out there that can do it without marrying together a bunch of different equipment. And this just does it for you right out of the box. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment here on the YouTube video. You can reach out to me as well. I'm happy to answer any questions about what this can and can't do. And I've only had this for a couple weeks, so I'm still learning all the features and the capabilities of it. And I know I'm still not using this device to its full potential, but I'm learning as I go. So please, if there's something I'm not talking about or that you might know better than I do, please feel free to share. Again, you can comment below. You can reach out to me at any time, and I'll help get you set up and walk you through this. Because when I was starting to use this device for my radio show, I didn't see a whole lot out there on the internet about how to do that, or can you even do it. I just bought it for podcasting purposes, hoping it would also double up and work for the radio show, and then triple up and work for live streams. And just so happens it does work for all 3. So there's the settings and things you got to tweak to make those things happen, but so far it's worked well for me, and it's, again, a learning process along the way. So thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, again, reach out, feel free to comment, and we'll be back again with another video, hopefully of another cool device we can add to this to really just amplify what we can do here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.